Hello, everyone. Hello, and good morning to you. My name is Tanya Hawley, and I'm so excited to be here again. It's been a little while. I am your host today of the Radical Edge of HR with HR Knowledge Source. And boy, are we celebrating in the house today. Today, our topic is the 10 decades of unstoppable momentum, and we are celebrating 10 years of HR knowledge source. And who better to celebrate with the people that helped, that really made it happen? I have to say, they're going to say it wasn't just them, but they are at the top to help make it happen. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here right now. So let me introduce you to my very special guest. Is it fair to say guest? I don't know. You kind of own the show. I don't know. Anyway, let me introduce you to Sheree Knowles, who is CEO, and Ardie Harrison, who is SVP. And I'm going to let them give a formal introduction of who exactly they are. Sheree?
Thanks, Tanya. And so, hello, everyone. And yes, I can be a guest on, I guess, my own show. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here. As Tanya mentioned, my name is Sheree Knowles, and I started this amazing organization 10 years ago. I have been in the HR space, probably have done everything you can think of in HR for about 3 decades. So, that is me in a nutshell, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Sheree.
Wonderful.
So happy
Hi,
to have you. Ardie? Yes.
yes, and I'm Ardie Harrison. I serve as the Senior Vice President of Strategy and Client Development here at HR Knowledge Source. I too have about 3 decades with the in HR space, and have had the opportunity to work in both profit and nonprofit organizations in different states. And so it's been a journey to be in HR, but it's been a pleasure to spend these years here with HRKS for the past 6 years, as a matter of fact. So pleasure to be here.
Thank you both so very much. And I'm just excited to be here with you. I am proud to say that I have been here since its inception as well. So I am super excited to be able to celebrate with you all. So let's dive in and just give them a little taste of what's been going on for 10 years, which is quite the accomplishment. So let me ask you both, what does it mean to celebrate 10 years of HRKS success? And Sheree, I'll start with you.
Okay, thanks, Tanya. I knew you were going to ask me this question. I've been thinking about it, and it still feels really surreal to me just to see how the company has turned out. I'm telling you, I like literally did not have this in mind 10 years ago. And I am amazed to see how much of God's hand is in this business. It's really a blessing. We have such amazing people on the team, and our clients come from really incredible organizations that want to do the right thing in terms of their people, which makes it welcoming for us to come and support them. So again, it really is surreal. And when I stop to think about it, like really for a long time, I get emotional because I just think it's incredible to be here after 10 years. So that's what comes to mind for me.
Yeah. And for me, as just thinking about the 10 years, it's really been the staying power to be a small organization with such a powerful impact and to be able to touch so many people over this period of time. It's been amazing. Many businesses don't stay as long as we have, and we don't take that lightly. But I think it also has to do with the leadership that the organization has through Sheree's faithful fortitude and her drive, always finding a way to be present and making sure that the best is always what we present. But being here for 10 years with that kind of a leadership has been amazing. And it is an honor to be a part of this journey. It's not common. Many people that come to be a part of us realize we're not a typical corporate organization. We are a family, and we treat people with integrity and dignity, and that keeps people staying for these 10 years and years to come.
Wonderful. Well said. Thank you, Ardie. And I concur. I agree with Ardie as well for you, Sheree. So, Ardie, I'm going to direct the next question to you. And you kind of touched on it a little bit. Studies show that most consulting firms, especially HR consulting firms, don't make it beyond 5 years. What makes HRKS different? What's the special sauce?
Yeah, that's and there is some special sauce, and I really appreciate just how you frame that question. I think it's just the ability to be agile and to really just
Mm,
adjust to the business environment. We pivot ourselves to support our clients, which means that we have to pivot to where they are. Trying to build client relationships for us is important because we don't take the concept that one size fits all. One size does not fit all. And so we don't take that approach. And so we value each new client interaction as a priority. I like to use the term sort of a white glove approach, in that we're taking a personalized approach to trying to deliver whatever that service might be for them, not trying to fit them into the mold of someone else. And we also, I think another piece too, is just the diversifying our portfolio in terms of our generalist HR consultants that work with us, as well as our HR specialists. We have a pool of people that cover all the parameters of HR. But we also do that through their knowledge, their skills, and their abilities, and also their geographic locations, because they're located throughout the United States and even internationally. And we're able to service clients both in person and also virtually. So it is all of those concepts that bring together the specialness and the sauce, as you refer to, that brings to the table.
Thank you, Ardie. Yes. And I have to say, everybody obviously can't do that. They don't know how to maneuver and to work all these things so that it works in a positive way. I think
Yeah,
that speaks to you and Sheree.
yeah, yeah. And to your point, a lot of our consultants have found many, really, really all of them have come from nonprofit and for-profit corporate organizations. And a common theme is they've never experienced an environment, but not only they're bringing their entire selves to the space, but they're bringing their creativities. They're bringing a sense of who they are, and we're embracing that. And they feel a part of a family. They know and understand the business, and they want to help us grow because they're invested in it. So it's a different environment.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ardie. So 10 years is a long time. I know between your experience in HR and this business, I know you both probably started when you're two. Let's just put it out
Yes,
there. Just so,
yes. I was two and a half. I was two and a half. I was
so
two and a half.
Ardie's going to claim she was a little bit older than you,
Yeah,
Sheree, if you were
just a
just
little
two.
bit. Yeah.
Okay. But 10 years is a long time, no matter how you look at it. And you've made it look easy. You absolutely have. But let's talk about the evolution of HRKS. What obstacles did you have to navigate along the way in these 10 years? Sheree, I'll direct this one to you, please.
Thanks, Tanya. It's funny because there's a saying, there is no such thing as an overnight success. And when I think about the influencers and the people who are on Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn even, and they're touting like all of their accomplishments, what they don't tell people is all the hard work that went into that, all the mistakes, the missteps, the uncertainty, like all of those things, because there truly isn't, or rarely, such a thing as an overnight success. And Ardie talked about HRKS having staying power. I really like that phrase because we are a faith-based organization, and I started the company with that in mind. And I truly believe that HRKS, and Ardie and I share this as well as the rest of our executive team, that this is a ministry. So we're not in a church per se, but this is a ministry. We are shepherding clients, we're shepherding consultants, we are impacting people's lives, and we don't take that for granted, and we don't do it without faith. And that, I think, is the staying power for this 10 years. So along the way, especially in the beginning, we didn't have clients. There was a point in time when we did not have a lot of income or revenue coming in. And honestly, I said, okay, go in my closet. I'm in there looking around. What purses or designer shoes do I have that I can like put on eBay to like make some money? Like I was literally going to find a side hustle in order to keep HRKS alive. And thankfully I didn't have to do that. And even in the tight times, I will have to tell you, at home personally, we never missed a beat in paying our bills. Nothing ever got cut off. And God always just made a way for me and for this company. So I bring that forward to say, yep, We hired the wrong people who had the wrong mindset. Employee mindsets do not work in an entrepreneurial environment. So I'm just going to like spill the tea
Mm,
for those of you who are out there listening. Doesn't work. We engage with the wrong clients in the beginning. And what we learned is that all money ain't good money. And
mm,
so you can't compromise your integrity or what you know to be right in order to get a dollar from a client. Not a good strategy. So we have learned along the way. We're always learning. We every day or every week there's something new that we didn't know in this business that either we have learned the hard way or we learned in enough time to like course correct so we didn't have to feel the pain of it. But it is not easy, and certainly there was no overnight success story. I wish there was, but y'all, there isn't.
And you know what came to mind? This the story behind the glory. So everybody
Yes,
sees all the glory, but there's
yes.
always the stories behind
Oh,
it that nobody hears about. What goes on backstage, or what goes on behind the camera, all the work that goes in, and the blood, sweat, and tears is
mhm.
basically what you just explained. So no overnight success, but just some hard work, determination, and God's grace.
That's
That
right.
about sums it up.
That sums it up. That is it right there.
But I also want to, what came to mind when you were speaking, Sheree, is just comment on how a lot of corporations or in corporate world, you will not find the word faith or the recognition or the acknowledgement. And that also sets you or us or HRKS apart, because right there, right now, what you just said, you wouldn't hear that in a lot of businesses because either they're afraid to or they don't believe or whatever their reasoning may be. But in my opinion, that has a lot to do with it right there. Just the fact that you're not ashamed to acknowledge that and say that in everything that both you and Ardie do and say, every action, every client, you would put it out front so they know. And if they don't agree or they are uncomfortable, then like you said, that may not be the right fit for us.
That's right. That's right. And it doesn't make that client or that consultant for that matter wrong or bad or anything. It just means it's not aligned with our values and not aligned with the direction that we're heading. Um, I will share because we put this into action every Sunday morning. I say most, I won't say every because that's probably too extreme, but most Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock a.m. Where are we, Artie? What are we doing?
We are on the phone and we are praying for our company, our families, and everything in between. So we pray every week, just about every week.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. And we put it into action. Even in our executive team meetings, we usually have those twice a month. And we start off with a scripture or a cup of inspiration or some kind of meaningful quote to really anchor ourselves really in what we're doing. So we put it into practice. It isn't just something we say.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's go on to our next question. And Artie, this one's for you. And I know that HRKS has experienced a lot of wins over the years. Can you just share a couple of those wins or accomplishments? We want to just brag a little bit right now.
You want me to narrow that down to two? That is going to be
Yes, ma'am. Two. It's only a 30-minute show. Yes.
let me see what I can do. Okay, let me see what I can. Well, one I think would be probably the fact that we've been able to establish an international presence, serving clients globally, for example, in Germany. That's been huge for us because that's important. The world of being in this virtual environment allows us to expand our territories. And just as a word of acknowledgement, we were virtual before the pandemic. So we have mastered this ability to be virtual. I would also say the impact, I would also say, in addition to that, we were able to establish what we call centers of excellence, 4 targeted areas where we're able to service clients with specific solutions. And the reason we did that is because we listened to our clients. Over the years, clients have had certain areas that have been repetitive, that have come up as issues and concerns for them. And we recognize if they're calling us about these 4 key areas, let's define a strategy that centers those needs so that we can specifically build those out, which is what we were able to do. Those 4 centers include our centers of excellence around diversity, equity. Well, we call it DICE, just to be clear, but it's
Yes.
diversity. So it's diversity, inclusion, culture, and equity. Then we have our career blueprints, which has everything to do with leadership training and things of that nature. Then we have our recruitment division, and then we have our HR consulting division. And of course, we can, for anyone who wants us to dive deeper into that, Tanya will be given information after this to share. But I would say doing that, the impact that that has had on our clients has been tremendous because our clients have been able to align their HR strategies with their business goals, whatever those might be. We've been able to enhance the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities of any existing HR people or persons that they may have there at their organization. We've been able to help grow and even develop their leadership teams to develop the
Mhm.
team's skills and their abilities to perform their jobs and to deliver on DEI strategies that have had an impact beyond just checking the box. And that's just a few of our impacts amongst
Mhm.
many. But the impacts are great because they're targeted. As I mentioned earlier, we use this white glove approach. So we don't look at clients as a one size fit all. We are targeting
Mhm.
our solutions to their needs, not to ours.
Thank you, Artie. Okay, so I'm going to add one, okay? Because I just want to add just one little thing that I think if they don't know is, we are an award winner. We are an award winning company. So we have uh, been in the top 25 for the Cobb Chamber, top 25 businesses for 3 years, and every year we applied. We have been in the top 25 businesses of Cobb County. And we were the first small business, excuse me, minority business of the year. First, we started it all. So I just had to throw that in. Just you didn't have time to say it all, so I just slid it in, Artie. So
I was leaving something for you.
okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. You see how we share, everybody? We just
Mhm.
share. We share. So I'm going to keep it moving because, again, we don't have that long, but we want to get it all in. So, Artie, this is for you as well. What changes have you seen in HR in general over the last decade, and how did it impact the business of HR and our business specifically?
Yeah. Well, Sheree and I shared our length of time in HR, so we've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of changes over the years. I mean, HR has evolved and transitioned in terms of how we're referencing in terms of our services and the solutions. I mean, we've gone from being the personnel department to human resources, and I worked in it when it was called personnel department. We've gone from being what some may consider a liability. Uh, to sitting at the table and not outside the door, right? Not listening through the cracks, really there. I mean, we've gone from the HR police, as some may see, to an HR business partner. These types of changes have really positioned HR to have a lot more value, to add and build strategy for the organization's business. And it's helped to define how our work has been able to add to the business over time, to see a true ROI in the business. And these changes have also, I would say, framed us as partners to the business, helping to drive results, helping to support the C-suite, helping to support leaders and helping them to accomplish their goals. So the impact of these changes are also being seen, but
Mhm.
holistically, HR overall has changed over the years in so many ways and to the better.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
You
agree.
know, Artie, when you were saying that, I had a visual. If you think of a visual of what you're saying, you really can see the impact and the difference. For instance, if you say that we went from the HR police, you know, to what did we change to a partner?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a difference if you think of the police coming to you versus a partner. If you just even think about the change in my mind, that's a huge difference. Or from being at the table to being outside the door. You
Mhm.
think about not being let in or not being able to participate. So that's a huge difference. I just, I'm a visual person. So as you said that, I kind of in my head was thinking about the titles you were giving and where
Mhm.
you physically would be in those positions, as you said, versus the opposite. And
Mhm.
that's a huge impact and a huge difference. In HR, it sounds like it's come a long way in general, from
Mhm.
perception and how we look at how HR personnel or people look at themselves and how people look at you.
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to jump into that
Mhm.
as well. I 100% agree. Um, there is an evolution, and we're seeing trends, which I love being in the consulting space because we get to interact with a lot of different clients, and we can see or experience things that if you were just working solely in-house for one company, it may take you a little bit longer to kind of see what's happening. But the trends are amazing. I wanted to share that Ardie and I are talking about that very topic. We're going to be at the National Association of African Americans in HR, or in AAA HR, the conference in October, talking about this very, very specific thing, and how connecting yesterday to today at the intersection of tomorrow is the theme of the organizational conference. And we're talking about that concept of going from that police to a partner and even beyond. Like, what's the next step? So if you're planning to go, you should definitely check us out. If you don't know if you're going yet, go online and check it out and register, because we'll be there.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sheree, and thank you, Ardie. So we're actually nearing our, well, it is not nearing, it is our final question I'm going to ask. Before I do that, I just want to thank everybody who's watching. And there was a comment from Jennifer Criswell saying, "Amen, all money ain't good money." So thank you. She's amen in that comment. So thank you, Jennifer. And anyone else is watching, if you want to comment, please feel free to do so, or if you have questions as well. So the final question I have, Sheree, I'll give this one to you, is for all of the HR consultants out there, anyone interested, just starting out, who've been working for a while and they're not seeing any major changes in the business, what advice would you give them? We talked about these 10 years and the experiences. So what advice could you give someone?
I think the first thing that I would say, Tanya, and folks who are listening, is don't try to be perfect. I think we have a tendency to want to get everything like just right before we, get our first client, before we sell our first solution. And your business is going to evolve. So yes, have a plan, have an idea of what you want to do, but you need to be flexible, agile, be willing to get like 90% of the cake baked and get out there. Don't be afraid to jump out there. Your website doesn't have to be 1000% perfect. Your LinkedIn and all the other IG things don't have to be perfect. You just got to get out there. Clients are hiring your expertise or the expertise of your team. They're not hiring you because you're a great website developer. So I hope that makes sense. So don't be perfect, or don't try to be. Trust yourself. If you have the goods, use the goods, get out there and trust your instinct, trust yourself. You know more oftentimes than your client knows. And so you are automatically the expert. And I just say, like, own it, put that crown on and walk in it. And the last thing that I'll say is, I already uses this phrase, reading the tea leaves. Read the tea leaves. If you see things around you are shifting, be willing to go with that, to really ask yourself, what does that mean for your business? And at the end of the day, if you are out there consulting and you need to go back to corporate for a period of time, there's no shame in that. Absolutely no shame in that. Go back to corporate if that's what you need to build your financial foundation. Keep your business going, run it on the side until, one outbalances the other and you can go back out there and do consulting full time. But don't harm yourself in the process of trying to, get your business up and running. Do what you need to do, and keep the business there. So those are my tips for anybody that's out there right now that are thinking about it, or you've already jumped into the pool and you're kind of floundering around. You can reach out to me or Ardie on LinkedIn. We're always happy to talk to people. So we'd love to just chat with you if you need to.
Great. Thank you, Sheree. So guess what? We're out of time. I'm sorry. That
Oh,
went really fast, didn't
It
it?
did.
So in closing, I'm just going to ask you, is there anything you would like to leave anyone with? I'll let everyone know where they can follow us and all that good stuff. But is there any final comments, Ardie and Sheree, would you like to make? Ardie, I'll start with you if there's anything you want to close with.
Thank you. Well, I would just say for those that have been listening, first of all, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for those that will listen to this at a later time. We just appreciate not only the support, not only of our existing clients, but we look forward to building relationships with new prospective clients and being able to provide some solutions and a lot of learning that we've accomplished over the years, not just individually, but through our consultants. So it is an honor and a pleasure for us to still be not only in this field, but changing as the tea leaves change. And as we
Mm.
see progression occurring, that we're staying aboard with that as well. So we're just excited and we thank you all for being a part of today.
Thanks, Ardie. Sheree?
Yeah, thank you. I would echo Artie's gratitude. Just one, Tanya, thank you for hosting this. And for those of you who are plugging in now or later, we appreciate you. I hope you heard the fact that we enjoy what we do. We love it. One tip I forgot to say is have fun on the journey. So don't
Mm.
just be focusing about like the end result, but enjoy the experience along the way. And it can be the good, the bad, the ugly, and the wonky. um, and think about who you want to be. So whether you are a prospective client, you work in an HR department, you've got a career to think about. If you are a consultant and you're really trying to make a name for yourself and your business, you've got a career to think about. So really consider who you want to be and how you want to show up. I am going to shamelessly plug the fact that we are expanding our recruitment alliance, which is our staffing division. We are highly hyper focused on growing that division. So that means if you have open positions and you need an extra pair of hands, or you need somebody to come in and just give you some consulting advice around the best way to recruit and fill your jobs, call us, reach out to us. So Tanya, with that, I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you for allowing me to host TRE. It's been a pleasure today, and all of them have been a pleasure. I would say to everyone, if you want to learn more about HRKS, HR Knowledge Source, or HRKS, be sure to follow us. Go to our website, all at HRKS LLC, and check us out. Send us comments, questions. If you need help with any HR needs, I do mean all things HR, we'd be happy to help you out. So please, please stay in touch with us. We appreciate you for watching now or watching later, whenever you're watching, and feel free to reach out to us. So, on that note, I'm going to have to say farewell to everyone. We will see you next time on the Radical Edge of HR, because we know
Bye.
all things HR. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.